continued to support her no matter how many she shared pictures of men and their children that demonstrated how the strains in their relationship were becoming increasingly obvious. As well as Erica, Ho started this dispute, had no intention of backing down, and was committed to seeing it through to the end. "I'm staying, Erica, and I've declared that this is also my story, which I will share as the days pass." It was clear that no matter how hard someone tried to hide it, the truth eventually came to light because of the tension that was the. Supporters were incensed as the Yandhi and Erica Mana Mendeska debate escalated to a breaking point. Mendeska's, the public, and everyone else appeared to have forgotten that there was still one final twist. Since they were so exhausted, Yandhi was only exacerbating the last argument, which would either completely destroy the family's relationship or be gone. Erica's lengthy recuperation since she had officially admitted to the affair. There was no turning back, showed that the baby and the ideal family picture of men, DC, weren't what they appeared to be. But the battle wasn't over. Regaining control over her life and tale was more crucial than disclosing anything in the weeks that followed. The fact that Erica persevered in posting updates on her social media, a single mother proving her tenacity and proudly rearing her son. Despite the fact that her admirers were constantly Erica, who was there to assist her, realized that she was fighting the entire system that had caused her to feel that way. Yandhi is viewed by males as a supporting role in someone else's narrative, but not just by men. His absence from social media indicated that his prolonged silence was having a detrimental effect. Some coworkers and some supporters speculated that he was trying to patch things up privately with Yandhi, while others believed he was waiting for the right moment to address the controversy. But as time passed, he did so regardless of how much those who had previously supported him began to question his integrity as it became clear that the damage had been done. His refusal to take accountability in public only served to widen the gulf between himself and his fans. Yandhi was struggling too. Maintain the image she had put so much effort into creating, and her articles regarding the more she tried to be the perfect wife, the more her commitment and family love seemed to be a facade. Some questioned how long she would stay with Meneses after more people noticed the cracks in her relationship, pretending that, although some believed she was just acting for the cameras, others believed everything was a touching reunion special on Hip Hop and Love. Everything that arrived at last after much anticipation. Simmering tension reached a boiling point. The host implored the gravity of the situation. "It's time for everyone to put DC's Yandhi Erica back together. Speak your truth," the presenter said. "This has been a long and difficult process for all sides, but it's time for resolution since the public is curious about your positions." The moment was thrilling, and there was a brief sense of tension. Quiet. But then he stood up, his face worn out and eyes downcast. After avoiding the cameras for weeks, and began to declare, Mendy admits, "I made a lot of mistakes," in an honest tone. "I failed both of these women, and I caused a lot of harm to other people. And I refuse to acknowledge that I wasn't the person I was supposed to be." He took a moment before saying, "Takia," long breath. "I'm sorry, Erica, I should have told you. To the efforts to hide everything, I was self-centered from the beginning, and I truly regret that." The audience was silent, and Menashe's words were absent for the first time in months, were lingering in the air without any applause or cheers, despite the fact that the apology was long overdue. This was because he was genuinely demonstrating empathy and vulnerability for everyone. But the biggest shock came when Yandhi spoke next, for remaining silent for weeks while the drama unfolded around her. She finally talked to Theka Mera. She said steadily but emphatically, "It's not just about men's." Yandhi expressed emotion by saying, "It's about me. I've been through a lot and I'm done protecting him. Now it's time for you to face the truth." Everyone in the room sensed the fans were left wondering what would happen despite the passionate and tight debate and gravity of the situation. It seemed like something would eventually cut the cameras. Would Mendeses act and finally make Yandhi do this? Is everything going to be all right after accepting the truth? Or will Erica's revelation be the last one? Word in this heartbreaking story in the weeks after Mendesky's silence became so deafening that he chose not to respond to Yandy's emotional confessions or to Erika's continuous